Gratitude can change your life. Today, we're digging into what you can do to add more gratitude into your life. I can't be the first person to say that ever since I've been very grateful for everything I've had, my life has infinitely gotten so much better. A big reason why people stay miserable is because they aren't grateful enough for what they have now. So, we'll give some examples on how you can add that into your life and how easy it is to add this into your life. Starting with number one, writing down your gratitudes. I personally do this as soon as I wake up. Within an hour of me waking up, I have my gratitudes, my manifestations, and my affirmations written out to a T. I really enjoy this activity because it slows down my morning and makes me sit in where I'm at. A lot of the times we wake up, roll out of bed, and we are thinking about the next thing that we have to do, whether that's work, school, whatever it can be. However, when you start your day with like 3 to 5 gratitudes you've already written out and pointed out in your life, it's a kind of like a catapult to continue to have a really great day. And if you can find 3 to 5 things you're grateful for right when you wake up, just imagine how many more things you can find throughout the day. If it's not done when you wake up, because some people don't want to add this stress into the morning, you can definitely use it mid afternoon just as like a kind of a reminder or like a grounding exercise to lift yourself up if you're having a bad day, whatever that looks like. Sometimes I like to add some things at the end of my day. I journal every night. So if I can end the day with some things I'm grateful for or things that were moving that went really well, I'll add that and be like, oh, I'm grateful for this. If you haven't heard, writing things down helps kind of like just have you focus on that one thing. If you've ever tried like taking notes in class, like I think about that when I'm writing. Like I can't process what the teacher's saying if I'm writing something down. So if you're writing things down and you're writing what you're grateful for, that's the only thing you can think about. Which is a perfect segue to the second way you can add gratitudes, saying these things out loud. When you're saying something, you can't think about whatever else is in your head. So let's say you're in a negative headspace. If you're saying something positive like gratitude, that's what you're going to think about. I like to say you're speaking that into the universe. You're showing your appreciation to whatever God or the universe, whatever you follow, you're speaking that out. And with that, there's a lot of gifts back to you because you're grateful. I love to learn about the laws of the universe, and one of them is being grateful, which is partially why I made this video, is because I really did follow through with doing my gratitudes and reminding myself how grateful I am for everything. With that, my day is like full of things that I can be grateful for. I feel like I'm constantly chasing something to be grateful for, and it's a blessing in itself. So, when you're saying these things out loud, you get more things to be grateful for. The plus of this is you can also do it like wherever. Like, I like to think when I'm driving down to work and I feel like I'm a little down in the morning or I'm tired, I can just say these things out loud. Like, gosh, I'm so grateful the sun's out. I'm so grateful traffic isn't too bad. You know, it doesn't have to be these profound thoughts. I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on what your gratitude should be when it realistically is just something that you're grateful for in that moment. One of my repetitive gratitudes is like for my body. Like I'm very grateful that my body has so many abilities and I'm so capable of so much. I'm grateful for it. Which maybe I can talk about that in a different video, but it's definitely helped with my like self-love journey, I guess, is being grateful for what I look like, who I am, what do I bring to the universe. So I'd say try this out. You don't look crazy if you're talking to yourself because everybody does it. You'd be lying if you said you didn't talk to yourself. Highly suggest adding talking your gratitudes out. Number 3, most importantly, you can say gratitudes when you're in a low point. When you're struggling, it's a good reminder to, make yourself aware of what you should be grateful for in that moment. It's nice to remind ourselves that like it isn't the end of the world. You're going to be fine. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You know, all the cliche things you can say to that. Quotes don't really work on me because I find them kind of corny, honestly. That for sure has always worked for me is being like, you know what, I'm grateful. There was this like meme I'm trying to recall. Hold on, I'm actually going to look this up. You can't complain about a full plate when your goal was to eat. Genuinely changed my perspective. When I'm feeling like overwhelmed at work, I'm like, well, I'm grateful that my team members trust me with this work. when I'm overwhelmed with my apartment and how dirty it is, or whatever it is. I don't know. Like, that's just my first example because my apartment feels a little cluttered. I'm grateful that I have a place to stay and I can pay for a place to be. There's so many little things that you can throw in to be grateful for when you are struggling. Let's say you're struggling with a relationship in your family. I'm grateful that my family is still there and supportive. When you're constantly flipping your kind of like bad parts, bad situations in your life to something that you can be grateful for, there will be a solution. Nothing bad lasts forever, nothing good lasts forever. Remind yourself that you are alive, breathing, and overall well. You are here today, so be grateful for that. It's easier to go through hard things when you do have this kind of, it's not even an optimistic thing, it's realistic that you can be grateful for everything. So I definitely suggest the next time you're struggling, go through the things you're grateful for again, just to ground yourself, because if you're constantly having anxiety over the past, over the present, over the future, these are things that either already have happened or haven't happened. Gratitude is definitely a grounding technique, and without it, I don't think I would love as my life as much as one could. I feel like I always talk about gratitude, and like just even in my personal life and on the internet, but in all seriousness, like I would highly suggest taking the advice of being grateful. It could quite literally always be worse. But that's it. It's a short message today. Thank you so much for staying on. I hope you use these exercises when you are feeling down, or even when you're starting your day, when you have a midday crash, whatever it may be. Being grateful for what you have is such an important part of life. I didn't realize it until I grew up, really, especially living I've had a very fun life overall. And I'm so grateful for every opportunity I've been given, whether it ended badly or well. Gratitude is definitely in the center of my life, and I highly suggest anybody else to put it in the center of their lives. If you've lived it, you can be grateful for it. With that being said, peace and love.